Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. So as you can see, got my face on the cam. I know this is a bit new for me, so get used to it. But basically there's a whole bunch of stuff going around with data mined leaks at the moment. Respawn, or kind of unofficially Respawn, have kind of made a few statements about how they actually feel about these data mined leaks. And whether you play Apex Legends or Fortnite, any game, I'm going to try and break this down on debunking all of the myths to do with data mined leaks, because there's a ton of myths that people don't really think that long into, and it's like, yeah, it makes sense at first, but when you break it down, it really doesn't. So we're going to be doing a whole bunch of debunking, going over how data mined leaks affect games. But other than that, we're just going to get straight into a quick clarification of data mined leaks, because there's still a lot of people in the community that talk to me about data mined leaks, and they get confused with official teasers and leaks from Respawn and Apex from the official game itself. So sometimes they'll leak, well, they won't leak, but they'll put out a teaser trailer for a new event or something before it's actually come out, and technically it's kind of an official leak, a bit of a teaser, but yeah, that's official. A data mined leak is something that a third-party person has come in and extracted from the files without the permission of the actual person that owns those files, like the company, EA. Now, the reason I haven't personally covered data mined leaks on my channel is because I always felt it was disrespectful to the artists of the game. It's a bit like a shoplifter. You're going in and stealing their stuff, and like, it's just a bit unfair, especially for the creator. I'm going to go into more detail on specific points in a minute, but instinctually, I morally just didn't agree with data mining. It just didn't make any sense to me, and every excuse I ever heard was something that was just kind of selfish. And yeah, so I never covered it, but at the same time, I wasn't sure if I was being ignorant. I wasn't sure if I was being short-sighted myself. I wasn't sure if, like, oh, maybe Apex and these gaming companies do like data mined leaks. Maybe they really do. It is good for their game. Because to be honest, they never say anything. They're never like, oh, no, we don't like data mine leaks. Oh, we do like data mine leaks. They're always leaving us in the blue. So as a content creator who wants to like be on good terms with the game, I'm not sure if I should be promoting these leaks to apparently support the game, or if I should not be doing these leaks to respect the artists. It's a very grey area where there's no clarification, because Respawn, the game companies, make no statements. But there has been a kind of unofficial statement we're going to go over. So I've kind of got my phone, bit of notes here, but basically there was a tweet from Alex Frostwolf, and I want to clarify. In her profile, it literally says opinions are her own. So this is why I said it's kind of an unofficial Respawn tweet, but it is from a social media manager for Apex called Alex Frostwolf. Now, she put up a post the other day stating, leaks suck for so many reasons. They disrupt months, sometimes years of work done by communications teams. They spread misinformation like a plague. But above all, they steal a reveal from the devs who have been pouring their heart and soul into a project. Leaks suck. Don't. Now, this is basically what I meant by the unofficial thing, because it's from a social media manager and technically not a dev. So a lot of data miners that might read this might not see this as clear clarification to stop. For instance, the one mining guy, he's a data miner, and no individual hate to people. I just think in general it's unhealthy and disrespectful to the game. But basically he replied saying, well, if they tell me to stop, I'll stop. It's like, well, she literally said, leaks suck, don't. But he's not going to take that seriously because she's a social media manager and not technically a dev. Again, Respawn, you need to make official statements on this kind of thing. You really do. For all of your advertising in general, it's going to let content creators know what they should and shouldn't make content on. The fact is, something I actually wanted to point out is Apex Legends, Respawn, have, I don't know if they're unconsciously doing it, but they've been supporting data miner leakers. So essentially, data mined leaks will get put up on Reddit, and that people will make a ton of theories about it, and then devs will reply on those Reddit posts, kind of like being all friendly and like, oh, your tinfoil hat theories and that. And it's like, look, these are data miners. If you're being all friendly and that with them, you're you're giving them permission to carry on. You're encouraging them to do this. Why are you acting all friendly if this isn't something you want? Again, make a statement. But they also did this during the very first Apex Legends live stream. I can't remember the official person's name in the middle. It was a big live stream. But basically, he kind of shouted out that one mining guy during the stream. And it's like, this is a known data miner. If you don't want him to data mine, why are you shouting him out in your stream in a friendly manner? This is kind of why I'm on the fence. I'm like, maybe Apex do want them people to data mine and leak all their stuff, because they're being all friendly with the data mined leakers. So again, Respawn, make a statement. Any gaming company, you need to make statements on this stuff. So, myths. This is, as you can see, I'm trying to go into quite a bit of detail, but basically there's a lot of myths. For instance, one of them is that it gives the community more content to get hyped up around, it keeps the game alive, little things like that. Now, I think it seems true in the moment, but in the long run it really isn't. And I need to show you two different timelines as an example. So you can see here, this is a 1 year timeline with no data miners. Here is a 1 year timeline with data miners. Now, basically, how a game would normally go is, say we're starting around here or whatever, every quarter the game usually releases battle passes, like 3 monthly things. And they do that like pretty much with every game now. Now, before it, they'll start to build up hype, a few teasers, a few trailers, and then when it releases, boom, and then it should like slowly fade like this until we get the next, and boom, it should slowly fade like this, and you end up getting this like peak timeline. Now, what happens with data miners is completely different, because here it's all planned, it's all like figured out. You've got these teasers that come up and give the peaks. With data mined hacks, it's completely different. So, for example, like 3 weeks to a month before, they'll release the data mined information. So for information up here, we'll end up getting information here, and there'll be all these random peaks from where information gets leaked. And then when the actual event comes along, there's just like a tiny peak, and then it fades really quickly because we've already had all the information to like go over. The hype is much less for the actual event because everyone's already like exhausted from figuring things out, from misinterpret data mined leaks and that. You end up with these tiny peak sessions when you should be able to have a lot longer peaks when the leaks are done officially, when it's done according to their plan. This is what Alex was saying about how it ruined months and years of communication teams' work, because they set up these massive events, these big plans, and then data miners just ruin it. Imagine if you were an artist and you created an amazing piece. Imagine you're Picasso or some great artist, you created the Mona Lisa and you're about to show it off to the world, and 4 weeks earlier someone takes a photo of your artwork and like leaks it. Like, that's disrespectful to the artist and like the creator. They put so much time into their work, and you end up with these really shitty like little peaks from data mine leaks and a bit of a small peak when we've had too much hype. When leaks are done properly, we get tidbits of valuable information. There's no misinterpretation. In this section down here, it's full of misinterpretation. And it's harmful for the community because they see something that maybe they don't want in the game, and it was never going to be in the game because it was just a data mine leaked from some misinterpreted information. It's like just a myth that having data mined leaks helps build hype in the long run and keeps the game healthy, because that hype would already be there and it would be done professionally if you let the professionals do their job. Now, the next myth is basically that it holds devs responsible for their actions and it allows the community to give feedback. While this is kind of true, who gives the community the right? This is an artist's piece of art that they want to put out to the world. Who gives some 13-year-old kid or some 30-year-old builder the right to tell this artist how to make their art? We have to accept it or don't accept it. If I don't like a game, I go and play another one. If I don't like a part of a game, but I like the game in general, I focus on one bit. In the old days, like Sonic the Hedgehog and that, you couldn't do this. You couldn't be like, we want it like this, like this. It's a very spoilt kind of community now where we demand action. It's like, no, let the developers create their art. It's their work of art. Let them do what they're going to do. So Alex actually replied to a tweet that came up with this excuse. And she basically said, no, they're not, because it's not up to you to decide what is and what isn't a good idea. It's up to the devs. Leaking information is unnecessary and selfish. So this is kind of how I've been feeling about data mined leaks all along, but no developers really make statements on it. So I'm left in this grey area of, am I wrong? Am I right? Well, what do I do? You need to make statements. Another excuse that came up in the comments was, it helps content creators earn a living. I'm sorry, but content creators are going to make content whether you put out data mined leaks or not. And two, I basically consider that blood money. That's like me going into a shop, stealing a ton of product, giving that product to like content creators, and then they sell it and make money. Hackers are illegally hacking, data mining files. When content creators use that information, they're making blood money. I don't care what anyone says. I don't have any judgments on individuals because I really like certain individuals that actually do this. Now, it isn't all wrong. They do say that it does help boosts when it is like a dead game and stuff. And yeah, that might be true, but at the end of the day, developers are just people like us. They're people that make mistakes, they learn from them, they sometimes don't realise when they should quickly put out some content because they don't realise when the community might be getting as dead as it is. But at the end of the day, this is their art piece and we need to respect that. From this timeline alone, I feel like the whole of data mining holds a game's showcasing ability, their ability to go, this big event, this new legend, it's held in a backlog because of data miners. When you look at this timeline, all of the leaks create a time schedule that's not supposed to exist. Everything is pushed forward 3 weeks to a month because of data mined leaks. When we're supposed to be having a schedule like this, we end up having a schedule that's like this. If you get what I mean. There we go. So it ends up completely out of sync. And this is what I'm saying. It completely ruins what Alex was saying about the communications team running their events and that. It completely ruins their schedule. And they have to think up completely new ways to hype up the community because they've suddenly have their tool that they were going to use to hype up the community later this month. They've suddenly had it leaked now. And now they've got to, like, it's a constant fight for survival, I can imagine, over there, like dealing with these data mined leaks. I don't know, let me know what you think in the comments. As I said, I don't have any individual hate for anyone that covers data mined leaks or does data mined leaks. I just wanted to say how I felt on the situation. I think it is a bit disrespectful to the artist that creates this game, that puts years and months into creating their masterpiece that is ruined by someone who just illegally hacks their files. And if people can't see that's like pretty fucked up, then I'm not going to say anything more. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, you know the drill. I'll catch you all later. Peace.